All right, picture this. You're walking into a showroom and right in front of you sits the brand new 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S Hybrid. Just saying that out loud sounds like a clash of worlds, doesn't it? The Porsche 911, a car that's been iconic for decades, now coming in with a hybrid setup. And this isn't just a hybrid for efficiency's sake. This is a hybrid that cranks out a jaw-dropping 701 horsepower and can push to 200 miles per hour. You're probably thinking, did Porsche just make the ultimate everyday supercar? Well, let's dive in and see if this 911 Turbo S Hybrid is really the game changer it promises to be. Now, if you've been following Porsche for a while, you know they don't mess around with the 911 formula lightly. It's one of the most sacred cars in the automotive world, and every little change they make is scrutinized by enthusiasts. But with 2026, Porsche said, all right, the future is coming fast. Let's blend the tradition of the rear-mounted twin-turbo flat-six with some electric muscle. And wait till you hear this. This isn't just a token battery pack slapped under the floor. Porsche engineered this hybrid system specifically to enhance performance, not compromise it. So let's start with what you'll see first, the exterior. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S Hybrid looks unmistakably like a 911, but if you put it side by side with the 2025 model, you'll notice subtle but significant tweaks. The front fascia has sharper, more aerodynamic intakes that almost look like they're pulling the car to the ground. The headlights, of course, keep that timeless rounded Porsche look, but with a new LED signature that kind of gives it this futuristic wink. Walk along the side and the proportions are still classic 911, low, wide, with that muscular stance over the rear wheels. But Porsche has tucked in some clever aerodynamic work. The side skirts channel airflow directly toward those massive rear haunches, and just behind them you'll notice the charging port, discreetly hidden so it doesn't scream hybrid at you. Around back, the spoiler is now an active unit that adjusts on the fly depending on speed, and the taillight bar stretches the entire width of the car with a glowing red signature that looks like a laser at night. Add in some subtle turbo, hybrid badging, and yeah, it's still pure 911 but with that high-tech edge. Step inside, and this is where Porsche really leaned into the future. The cabin of the 2026 911 Turbo S Hybrid is a blend of luxury, performance focus, and digital wizardry. The first thing you'll notice when you sit in the driver's seat is the curved digital instrument cluster. It's fully reconfigurable, so if you want the traditional 5-dial Porsche look, it'll give you that. But swipe through and you'll see hybrid energy flow meters, performance timers, and even a navigation overlay that looks like something out of a video game. The center screen is crisp and massive, but what I love is that Porsche didn't just give you touch-only controls. You still have those knurled aluminum knobs and physical buttons for essentials, because when you're driving a 200-mile-per-hour machine, you don't want to be hunting through menus. The seats are wrapped in premium leather with contrast stitching, but here's a neat twist. Porsche is offering a sustainable leather alternative for those who want the performance without the traditional materials. And if you look closer, you'll notice the seats have been redesigned with slightly deeper bolstering, because with 701 horsepower, trust me, you're going to need to be held in place. In the back, well, you know the deal with 911s. Those tiny rear seats are still there, good for kids or a couple of small bags, but honestly think of them more as extra cargo space. Speaking of cargo, the front trunk, or frunk, hasn't gotten any bigger, but it's still big enough for a carry-on, suitcase, or your grocery run. This isn't meant to be a family hauler, but it's surprisingly practical if you just want to take it for a weekend getaway. Now let's talk about the heart of this beast, because the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S Hybrid is all about that drivetrain. Under the rear deck lid, you've got the legendary twin-turbocharged 3.8-liter flat-six. Alone, that engine is already a monster, but Porsche paired it with an electric motor mounted in the transmission housing. Combined output? 701 horsepower and a staggering 738 pound-feet of torque. That's insane for a 911, and here's the kicker. It's delivered instantly. You tap the throttle and the electric motor fills in all the gaps so there's zero lag, just this catapult effect that launches you forward. 0 to 60? 2.5 seconds flat. Top speed? 200 miles per hour. Let that sink in. For a second. This is a hybrid that can hang with hypercars, and if you're worried about the weight penalty of a battery, Porsche thought of that too. They've used a compact, lightweight battery pack that's mounted low in the car, keeping the center of gravity razor sharp. It also gives you around 25 miles of pure electric driving. So if you just want to creep through your neighborhood in silence or avoid waking up the whole street at 6 a.m., you can do that. But the moment you hit the highway and put your foot down, the beast wakes up, and it's all systems go. Driving the 2026 911 Turbo S Hybrid is an experience that really bends your brain a little. In normal mode, it's eerily quiet, almost serene like you're in an electric Porsche Taycan, but switch to Sport or Sport Plus, and the flat six roars to life with that unmistakable Porsche soundtrack, only now it's layered with this surge of instant torque from the electric motor. It feels like you're driving a turbocharged 911 on steroids, because every gear change snaps, every corner feels planted, and the acceleration just doesn't let up. The all-wheel drive system makes sure all that power actually hits the pavement, and Porsche's active suspension dynamically adjusts to keep the car flat even through aggressive cornering. Wait till you hear this. The regenerative braking system isn't just about efficiency. Porsche tuned it to actually feel natural, so when you're slowing down hard into a corner, it blends regenerative and mechanical braking seamlessly. You still get that confidence-inspiring brake pedal feel, but you're also sending power back into the battery for your next launch. It's clever engineering that makes the hybrid system feel like an extension of the car, not an add-on. Now let's get into the numbers and some of the competition. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S Hybrid is starting around $230,000, which isn't cheap, but when you stack it up against rivals, it actually makes sense. Take the Ferrari 296 GTB, for instance, a hybrid supercar with 818 horsepower. That'll set you back well over $300,000. Or the McLaren Artura, another hybrid performance machine, which comes in at around $240,000 but doesn't quite have the same everyday usability. The 911 Turbo S Hybrid manages to give you blistering performance while still being that car you can, at least in theory, drive every day. That's the magic of it. On the pros side, you've got the incredible performance, the blend of hybrid, efficiency with raw power, the fact that it still looks and feels like a Porsche 911, and the everyday usability. On the con side, well, let's be real, the rear seats are still pretty much a joke, cargo space is limited, and while Porsche has done wonders with weight distribution, this is still a heavier 911 than the pure gas version. Enthusiasts might say it's lost a bit of that raw, analog charm, but honestly, that's the direction the industry is heading, and Porsche has made sure this car still delivers soul in spades. Here's something you'll love. Porsche hasn't just created a car for 2026, they've set the tone for what the next decade of sports cars could look like. Hybrid doesn't have to mean boring or compromised. It can mean faster, sharper, and more usable. The 911 Turbo S Hybrid proves that. So, if you're someone who's been waiting for a car that bridges the gap between the old-school analog thrill of driving and the high-tech electrified future, the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S Hybrid is about as perfect a blend as it gets. It's a game-changer not just because of the numbers, but because of how it makes you feel behind the wheel. And with that, I want to hear from you. Would you take this over a Ferrari or McLaren hybrid? Or do you think Porsche should have left the 911 alone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S Hybrid, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more car reviews, because trust me, we've got plenty more exciting machines coming your way.